A bad tie rod makes the wheel steer when it should stay straight. A bad ball joint lets the wheel move where it should stay solid. Both can cause clunking, loose steering, drifting, and uneven tire wear, but they fail in different ways. And if either one separates completely, you can lose control of the vehicle. So before you replace random suspension parts, here is how to tell whether the problem is the tie rod, the ball joint, the wheel bearing, or something else nearby. Tie rods are part of the steering system. They connect the steering rack to the wheel knuckle and help turn the wheels when you move the steering wheel. Ball joints are part of the suspension system. They act like a pivot between the control arm and the steering knuckle, allowing the wheel to move up and down while still turning. So in simple terms, tie rods control steering direction. Ball joints support and pivot the suspension. Let's start with tie rods. A bad tie rod usually causes loose steering, wandering, steering wheel play, clunking when turning, uneven tire wear, or a car that feels like it will not hold a straight line. You may also notice the steering feels delayed, where you move the steering wheel slightly but the wheels do not respond right away. The best quick test is the 3 and 9 test. Park on level ground, set the parking brake, chalk the wheels, lift the front of the car safely, and support it with jack stands. Never rely on a jack alone. Grab the tire at the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock positions and shake it side to side. A good steering joint should feel tight. If you feel knocking, looseness, or side-to-side play, suspect the tie rod, inner tie rod, steering rack, or wheel bearing. But do not stop there. You need to watch the parts while moving the wheel. Look at the outer tie rod end where it connects to the steering knuckle. If the stud or joint moves separately before the knuckle moves, the outer tie rod is worn. If the outer tie rod looks tight but the movement seems to come from under the steering rack boot, the inner tie rod may be worn. You can also have someone gently move the steering wheel left and right while you watch the tie rod. If the steering rack moves but the wheel response is delayed, or if you see looseness at the joint, that tie rod needs attention. Now here is an important warning. If the wheel has play at both 3 and 9 and 12 and 6, or if the brake rotor and hub move together with the wheel, do not blame the tie rod immediately. That may be a wheel bearing problem. Tie rod play usually shows movement in the steering linkage. Wheel bearing play usually moves the entire hub assembly. So guys, before we move to the ball joint test, please, if this video is already helping you, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who is dealing with loose steering, clunking, or front-end noise. It really supports the channel. Now to fix a bad outer tie rod, start by loosening the lug nuts, lifting and supporting the vehicle safely, and removing the wheel. Before removing the tie rod, mark the position of the old one or count how many turns it takes to remove it. This helps keep the alignment close enough to drive to the alignment shop. Loosen the jam nut on the tie rod. Remove the cotter pin if it has one, then remove the castle nut from the tie rod stud. Separate the tie rod from the steering knuckle using a tie rod separator or suitable puller. Do not hammer directly on the threaded stud if you plan to reuse anything. Now unscrew the old outer tie rod end, counting the turns as it comes off. Install the new tie rod with the same number of turns, connect it to the knuckle, torque the nut properly, install a new cotter pin if required, then tighten the jam nut. After replacing a tie rod, a wheel alignment is not optional. Even if you counted the turns perfectly, the toe angle can still be off. Bad alignment can destroy tires quickly and make the car pull or wander. For an inner tie rod, the process is more involved. Remove the outer tie rod first, then remove the steering rack boot. Inspect for grease, torn boots, or fluid leaks. Use an inner tie rod tool to unscrew the inner tie rod from the steering rack. Install the new one with the correct locking washer or thread locker if required. Reinstall the rack boot securely. Reinstall the outer tie rod, and get an alignment. Now let's move to ball joints. A bad ball joint usually causes clunking over bumps, knocking from the suspension, uneven tire wear, wandering, vibration, or a loose feeling from the front end. In severe cases, the wheel may sit at a strange angle or feel like it is shifting under the car. The common test is the 12 and 6 test. With the vehicle safely lifted, grab the tire at the 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock positions and shake it in and out. If you feel knocking or movement, the ball joint may be worn. But this test alone is not always enough. Play at 12 and 6 can also come from a bad wheel bearing, control arm bushing, or strut mount, so you must watch the ball joint while testing. Use a flashlight and look at the ball joint where the control arm connects to the steering knuckle. If you see the stud moving inside the socket, or the joint popping up and down, it is worn. A better confirmation test is the pry bar test. Place a pry bar under the tire or control arm and gently lift while watching the ball joint. If the ball joint has vertical movement, popping, or separation between the stud and socket, it is bad. There is one more thing many beginners miss. Some suspension designs must be loaded correctly during testing. On some vehicles, the lower control arm must be supported with a jack to take pressure off the ball joint or to load it the right way. If the suspension is hanging incorrectly, a worn ball joint may look normal. So check the service procedure for your vehicle if you are unsure. Also inspect the rubber boot around the ball joint. If the boot is torn, missing, or leaking grease, dirt and water can enter the joint. That does not always mean the joint is already loose, but it means the joint may fail soon. If the joint is also noisy or has play, replace it. To fix a bad ball joint, first identify the style your vehicle uses. Some ball joints are bolted to the control arm. Some are pressed into the control arm. Some are built into the control arm, meaning you replace the entire control arm instead of just the joint. Start by lifting and supporting the vehicle safely. Remove the wheel. Support the control arm if the suspension design requires it. Remove the cotter pin and castle nut from the ball joint. Separate the ball joint from the steering knuckle using the correct ball joint separator tool. Be careful because suspension parts may be under tension. If the ball joint is bolted on, remove the bolts and install the new joint in the same position. If it is pressed in, use a ball joint press to press the old joint out and press the new one in straight. Do not beat it in with a hammer. If the ball joint is part of the control arm, replace the control arm assembly. After installation, torque all fasteners to specification, install a new cotter pin if required, and grease the joint if it has a grease fitting. Reinstall the wheel, lower the vehicle, and test drive carefully. Depending on the vehicle and what was removed, you may also need a wheel alignment after ball joint or control arm replacement. If the control arm position changed, alignment should be checked. Now here is the simple way to separate the symptoms. Side to side, play at 3 and 9 often points to tie rods, but watch the steering linkage to confirm. Up and down, play at 12 and 6 often points to ball joints, but watch the joint itself to confirm. If the entire hub moves in both directions, suspect the wheel bearing. If the clunk happens mostly while turning the steering wheel, suspect tie rods. If the clunk happens mostly over bumps, suspect ball joints, control arm bushings, or sway bar links. The repair path is simple. For a bad outer tie rod, replace the outer tie rod end, count the turns, torque it properly, and get an alignment. For a bad inner tie rod, remove the rack boot, replace the inner joint with the correct tool, reinstall the boot, and align the car. For a bad ball joint, replace the joint or control arm depending on the design, torque everything properly, and check alignment if needed. Do not keep driving if the steering feels very loose, the wheel has major play, the clunking is loud, or the tire appears to lean at an angle. A separated tie rod can make you lose steering control of that wheel. A separated ball joint can let the wheel fold under the car. The key is to confirm the movement before replacing parts. Do not just shake the tire and guess. Watch the tie rod, ball joint, hub, and control arm while the wheel is being moved. That is how you tell which part is actually bad. If this helped you, subscribe to the channel, like and share this video, and watch my other guide here on the signs and symptoms of bad CV joint and wheel bearing, and I will see you there.